Hey guys, and welcome to BrainSync 5. If you are new here, BrainSync 5 is all about helping students understand the best 5 subjects, which is mathematics, chemistry, English, physics, and biology. And in today's video specifically, we are going to be looking at indices because I want to start slow with the easiest topic that I can find, and I noticed that indices is there. And a lot of students struggle to understand indices. That is why I am here to make it much easier. Once we learn all this, see, if you can see the questions there in the blackboard, those are the questions that we are going to be practicing. Once you understand everything about indices, those questions will become very easy. So sit back, relax, and grab a pen and a notebook. So let's begin. So let's begin by first defining what indices is. And I will not be reading all this because I don't want it to sound like I am just reading it, but I will be explaining in my own language. If you want to get this book, you can write something in the comment section so that I may send it to you. It is completely free. So here's the thing. When we start looking at indices just simply talks about how many times a number is multiplied by itself. If you can see here, this 5 times 5 times 5 here, it can be written as 5 to the power 4. Okay, that is a bad explanation. Let me just go here. I'm sure you can see A and A9. The A represent the base here, represent the base, and the N represent the power. So you see, this power, it will be the one that will be telling the base to be multiplied this much time. Like if there was a 2 here, that means that you are going to multiply the base 2 times by itself, like it is A times A. If there was a 3 here, it is A times A times A 3 times. You understand it? So let's look at this this example below here. Hold on, just a few minutes. I'm sure you can see this 2 to the power 3, right? So this 2 represent the base, as I mentioned earlier, and the 3 represent the power. So it shows that you are going to multiply these 2 by 3 times. You see, 3 times. So it is 2 times 2 times 2, which will in turn give you what? 8, like that. You understand? Very well then. Do you have any question about this before we move on? You can ask in the comment section. So let's try to look at the most important parts of indices. If you do not understand this part, you face a lot of challenges when dealing with indices, which is the laws of indices. There are about, I don't know whether it is 5 or 6 laws of indices, but you just need to keep in mind. Law 1 talks about multiplication, where when you are multiplying same bases, you add the powers. Like here we have a base A and a base A being multiplied. The powers are m and n, so you add them, which is m plus n. M plus n. You understand? Same bases in multiplication, you add the powers. The next one, it is about division, which is just the opposite from multiplication. You subtract the powers if you are dividing same bases, like that. You understand it? Very well then. The next one is the power of a power. By this I just mean, like if you have a base, like if you have a base inside the bracket that has a power and there's a power outside the bracket, you multiply the powers so that they can be combined. Like hapa, so namna m ili mukati muri ama bracket with n, you just said m times n, which gave you mn. So the next thing, it is the power of a product, which this one, a lot of students mistaken this and this to be the same thing, like at anga kuri a n, so meaning you are going to multiply this ab will have the power n. No, all these bases, they are not the same, so each one of them will have this power. This a will have a power n, this b will have a power n, which will give you a to the power n and b to the power n. You do understand, right? If you do not understand, again, you can write something in the comment section. I'm more than willing to respond to your questions in the comments. So now that we've dealt with those easy one, now the part where people get confused. This one, the zero and negative indices. What happens when the index isn't positive whole number? You read this, guys, once you get the book. But one thing you just need to understand about the zero power, it is any number raised to the power 0, it will give you 1. Be it 1000, 100, and all that, it will still give you 1. Any number raised to the power 0, it is 1. Keep that in mind. So now that we've done that, the next one that we are going to talk about, it is the negative power. So a negative power usually means the reciprocating or dividing everything by 1. If you are given a base with a negative power, sorry, I went too far. There. If you are given a base with a negative power, in order to remove that negative, you are going to divide everything by 1. You see what happens here? Now we money so a to the power n, right? In order to remove this negative, we just said 1 over a to the power n. Easy as that. Easy as 1, 2, 3. You understand, right? Very well then. So we have also a fractional indices. This one is the one that I want you to pay particular attention to, because this is where most students get wrong. But it's very simple. Look at this. You are given a base with a fraction. So you have a to the power a 1 minus 1 over n. The 1 here, or the top number, is always representing the power, and the lower one represents the root, be it the square root, the cube root, the fourth root, the fifth root, and so on and so forth, depending on the number that is below here. The one on top just talks about what? The power, like so. And a more profound example is this one here. Namkwate fine m pamuru, namkwatana n punch. The n represents the root, the m represents the power. You understand? It is simple, Thank you very much for that, and I do believe that deserves a like, guys, because this explanation has been simplified to an extent whereby anyone can understand these things. If you can't understand it, you can write something in the comment section. Again, more than willing to respond to your questions. So this is just the summary. These are things that you are going to find in the book. Once you get it, you just have to write something in the comment section. If you actually want the book, I'm more than willing to give you. This is just a topic. It is completely free. So here is the thing. This is the meaning of indices. Remember earlier I told you the questions we are going to be answering, right? So let's begin by answering those questions. Just a moment, let me change some scenes up. So like like that. I'm sure you're able to see this, the big screen number +1. So I'm going to apply everything we did earlier in this answering this question. So you have the first question, which is open brackets 2 over 3 close bracket to the power -2. So what have you noticed by this question? Not quarter power -2. And remember when I told you that this is a reciprocal version of but the easiest shortcut you can do whenever you're given a fraction with a negative power, you can flip them. Ya punch yala pamuru, ya pamuru yala is a punch. It could look something like so. Mamona 3 yachipa punch te ya is a pamuru, 2 yachipa pamuru ya is a punch, tof nyako negative. The next step is simple. Remember when I told you about the power of the product? So meaning this 3 has a power 2 and this 2 has a power 2. So 3 to the power 2, it is 3 times 3, which is 9. 2 to the power 2, which is 2 times 2, which is 4. You understand, right? Thank you. I believe we can continue. Hold on, let me just try to put a light so that you guys are able to see clearly what I'm doing. Are you able to see this light? Is it causing any distraction or anything? Again, you can write something in the comment section. Now to got 3 to the power 2 plus 3 to the power negative 1 times 2 to the power 0, right? So what have you noticed? This 3, it is already in index form. We just have to say 3 to the power 2, it is what? It is 9. 3 times 3, it is 9. This 3 has a negative 1. So meaning, in order to remove the negative, you need to introduce a fraction. And if you go to this 2 to the power 0, any number raised to the power 0, it is what? 1, exactly. If you don't know what is happening here, go back. I have already explained this, guys. Everything we did is being explained here. So your responses should look something like so. Just a few momentos. Let me just do this. Are you able to see this? This 9 came from here. 3 times 3 to the power 2, which is 3 times 3, 9. This is this. Any number raised to the power, it is 1. So now, just simple mathematics. I find the common denominator, which is 3, 3, 3 multi 3, ni 3, and all that give you this at 1 multi 3, ni 3, 3 times 9, it is 27 plus, so 27 plus 1, it is 28. That is where I got this 28 over 3. So 28 over 3, you can make it yarampera 9 1 over 3, something like that. You understand it? Yeah, let's try to move on to the next one. I'm sure you are able to see this 4 to the power 1 over 2, right, times 4. How do you answer such a question? The first thing you need to pay attention to is this. This 4 has a fractional power. If you remember when I said what I said about fractional power, it is these 2 here represent what? The root, and this one represent the power. So you need to find the square root of 4, which is what? Which is 2, and 2 to the power 1, it is 2. Should come out something like so. So what is the square root of 4? It is 2. So 2 times 4, it is 8. Simple, eh? Very easy. And this next one, it is very straightforward. So what number when you multiply it 4 times give you 81? It is 3. What is 3 to the power? What is 3 to the power 3? It is 27. You are done. Okay? You understand? There are more. All these questions are coming from exam papers, so don't be too surprised. Now so I'm sure some of you can recognize this question, which is 5 to the power 3 times 1 over 5 to the power 2. This question is simple because all you have to do is this. Do you remember when I told you that negative power, like in order to remove the negative, you introduce HE1. So this one is no different from that. So how to answer this one? It is like so. You just reverse it back to this, and the reason why I'm doing it is because I want them to have the same bases. Why do I want them to have the same bases? So that I can do it same bases. You add the powers, so it is 3 plus negative 2. What is 3 plus negative 2? It is 1. So the answer is 5. Simple, okay? Very, very simple. So the next one, it is this one. 9. You have 64 over 125 to the power negative 1 over 3. Remember when I said that if you want to remove the negative, just flip them. So 64 yara panshi 125 yana pamuru tofanyako negative 1. We resolve, and now we come back to the fractional power. So these 3, meaning you have to find the number when you multiply 3 times give you 125. A number when you multiply it 3 times give you 64, which is what? Upper, it is 5, and then 64. So just like that. Very, very simple and straightforward. So guys, this is all I had for you in this video. I really appreciate you sticking to the end of this video. If you stick to this far, if you kept this far, that means that you are at least enjoying my videos. So please subscribe. I need to grow this channel. I cannot do it by myself, guys. So please click that subscribe button, like the video, and share it to someone who you think need to start studying. And yeah, I really appreciate the time that you spent being on this platform. See you in the next video, and please, whatever you do, don't forget to subscribe. It is actually helping